Maya grew up in a house where money was a secret. Her parents never talked about it. Not at dinner, not on weekends, not even when the electricity got cut off. She's now 31, earning $112,000 a year as a software engineer, and she hasn't opened a credit card statement in 6 months. Not because she can't pay it, because looking at it makes her feel like she's 8 years old again, standing outside a closed bedroom door, hearing her mother cry. So here's what happened to Maya, and probably to you. Between the ages of 3 and 7, your brain was in what neuroscientists call the theta state, a kind of hypnosis. You weren't analyzing, you were absorbing. And one of the things you absorbed was your family's entire emotional relationship with money. Psychologists call this your money blueprint. It's not what your parents told you about money, it's what they showed you. The flinch when the bill arrived. The silence after, how much did that cost? The way money was celebrated, or whispered about, or weaponized. Here's the part that should terrify you. Most adults never update this blueprint. They earn more, learn more, read the books, watch the videos, and still behave exactly like the 7-year-old version of themselves whenever money gets emotional. That's not a character flaw, that's neuroscience. I found that childhood money programming tends to fall into 3 patterns. See if you recognize yourself. 1. The scarcity kid. You grew up hearing, "We can't afford that," sometimes said with anger, sometimes with exhaustion, always with finality. When you asked for things, you got a speech. When things broke, they stayed broken. What you absorbed. There is never enough, and wanting more makes you bad. How it shows up now. You either hoard money and can't enjoy it, or you spend impulsively because a voice in your head says, "It'll disappear anyway, so use it now." Both come from the same wound. 2. The silence kid. Money was a forbidden topic in your house. You never knew how much your parents made, or what things cost, or why one week there were groceries and the next week there weren't. Questions got deflected. Or worse, they got punished. What you absorbed. Money is dangerous to talk about. Looking at it invites pain. How it shows up now. You avoid checking your accounts. You don't negotiate salary. You let bills pile up unopened. Not because you can't pay, but because engaging with money feels like stepping into a minefield. You might be the friend who makes good money but has no idea where it goes. 3. The guilt kid. Money in your house came with strings. Gifts were followed by obligation. Having nice things was showing off. Someone in your family used money to control, to manipulate, to keep score. What you absorbed. Money is dirty. Having it makes you selfish. Wanting it makes you shallow. How it shows up now. You undercharge. You overgive. Every raise comes with a quiet panic. Do I actually deserve this? You might self-sabotage right when things start going well. The guilt kid keeps themselves small because somewhere, a child learned that financial visibility was dangerous. You might be thinking, okay, I see myself in one of these. Now what? Here's the uncomfortable answer. Knowing the pattern doesn't break the pattern. Your brain built these responses when you were too young to understand what you were building. They got wired into your amygdala, your threat detection system, long before your prefrontal cortex came online to say, wait, this is irrational. That's why you can read every personal finance book ever published and still freeze when it's time to check your balance. Your prefrontal cortex has a spreadsheet. Your amygdala has a memory of being 7 years old, terrified, and powerless. The gap between knowing and doing, the entire premise of this channel, lives exactly here. So, how do you actually overwrite a blueprint that was installed before you could read? 3 things. None of them are complicated. All of them are uncomfortable. Step 1. Name it. Pull out your phone and record a 1-minute voice memo answering this. What did money feel like in my house growing up? Not what happened. What did it feel like? Use the words you couldn't use when you were 7. Scared, ashamed, invisible, controlled, hungry, guilty. The act of naming the emotion pulls it out of the amygdala and into the prefrontal cortex. You can't process what you haven't named. Step 2. Separate then from now. Write down 3 specific money behaviors you currently have that you don't like. For each one, ask, is this a response to my current reality or to a reality that ended 20 years ago? Example, I don't open my bank app. Is that because you're actually in financial danger right now? Or because opening a statement at age 9 meant hearing your parents fight? Most of the time, the answer will humiliate you with its simplicity. You're fighting a ghost. Step 3. Build a new association, small. Your brain needs a counter memory, a small, repeated experience where money feels safe. Not a budget, not a spreadsheet, an experience. Pick one. Transfer $5 into savings and say out loud, I have enough. Open one statement, look at it for 10 seconds, and close it, without judging anything. Buy yourself something small and let yourself enjoy it without guilt. Do it once, then again. The blueprint gets rewritten not through insight, but through repetition. Maya, the software engineer from the beginning, started doing this 3 months ago. She still doesn't love opening her statements, but she does it. And last week, for the first time in her adult life, she looked at her finances and felt neutral. Not panicked, not guilty, just fine. That's the goal. Not euphoria, not a 6-figure net worth by 30. Just the ability to engage with your own money without your 7-year-old self grabbing the wheel. Here's my question for you, and I genuinely want to hear this in the comments. What did money feel like in your house growing up? Give me one word. Mine would be, well, I don't have a childhood. That's your job. Drop your word below. I'll be reading every single one.